we made a promise to our client first and then moved to Aerem on finding a solution to it. So, which means that for every single, I would say, decision making, Aerem has been a very crucial part to a level where I would say last year's entire, I would say, quantum of our turnover to our profitability to our operations efficiency improvement and strategizing everything, Aerem has been a very key position maker for us. Been working very closely, started with finance, but then from there to technical solution package to their inventory and their procurement side of streamlining of operations. So every aspect of our EPC end to end, we've been the benefactor of Aerem. So I would say we give our entire last year's, from turnover to our project efficiency, everything, Aerem played a very big role in that entire spectrum of things. So yeah, I mean, there have been a lot of instances, but if I have to pick one, right, like which led us to kind of get the entire project up and running for our client, is that so from December to Feb and March, the client requested us to kind of close almost 10 sites in 3 months, which means that I'll have to finish off 3 sites every month. So we requested Aerem if they could kind of increase the credit limit, even if it's temporary, and reducing the interest rates quite to some extent, so that will improve our profitability. So these are minor modifications which they had to essentially kind of just go beyond their comfort level just to support us to kind of grow our businesses over the last 1 year. So this is something which I would say their support, their expertise into negotiating a better terms with us. So that is something which really helped us in improving profitability on those products. Yes, there were. I mean, so for example, finance, so they have a separate team which takes care of the finance, and now they have a technical team, and then they have a procurement team as well. So whenever we want to negotiate the price of the procurement channel, so we never essentially deal with the point of contact who is from the finance department. So we would be requested to essentially look at the procurement team and then directly negotiate, on a face-to-face basis on what is the expectations and what is it that they could give the best price. And same thing goes with the interest rates and everything, which will be dealt with the finance team. We started off with, like I said, supply chain financing. We didn't get an opportunity yet to avail their loan benefits, but we have few projects in pipeline where we would start kind of availing those benefits as well. But supply chain financing and then technical and the procurement side of things. So right now we have just blocked a very big quantum of solar panels through Aerem for this financial year, and supply chain financing has been something which has been, I would say, what led to a small scale startup to kind of for us to be a growth stage startup and kind of calling ourselves as comparable to the big league ones and trying to at least be a vision to compete with the big ones. So supply chain financing has been, I would say, the biggest services that we were able to avail to the biggest. The biggest client that we were able to bag last financial year is only by negotiating on one key decision of saying that you don't have to pay a single rupee upfront, you pay it after I do the installation. So 100% risk is on us, and once the project is executed is when you'll have to essentially pay us 100%. So for that, I would need someone to essentially procure the panels, inverters, cables, and all the raw materials that goes with it. So Aerem has been someone who has helped us throughout for that. So Aerem, the biggest vacuum of things that's there in the energy market or in the clean energy market is access to capital, right? Like either on the client side or on the installer side, right? So that is something which is the biggest vacuum, and there is going to be an everlasting demand, at least what we foresee for the next 30-40 years. And Aerem hits the entire market with the right solution that the market really needs, which is if the client wants capital to install solar, they give. If the one who is installing it, if he needs capital, Aerem has the solution, right? And now through Aerem solution of having a one-stop shop, right? Access to capital, doing entire technical aspect of it, and also kind of letting the procurement. What we foresee is this is going to democratize the entire industry, wherein anyone who is essentially passionate about entering into an industry, it doesn't need to have a big workforce, right? This is something where it can just offload that this is the clientele that we are trying to solarize, and let Aerem do majority of their aspect of it, right from designing to procurement to financing this end client. we actually see them grow at the same rate as we as a company are growing. Let's just say we are growing 3x, so we see the partnership also grow 3x, this financial year. So this is something which has opened up for much bigger opportunities which we could now explore. Just having the trust and the confidence that Aerem has our back. So of course, and we already have introduced Aerem to few companies. So one of the key differentiators which Aerem has over the competitors is predominantly the transparency that they have with the client. So they don't really kind of put hidden charges which the client recognizes it or sees it later, but they are very open and transparent and try to understand what the client really needs and try to understand, okay, so how do we now kind of model the financing in a way that both the party wins here, rather than heads I win, tails you lose model which majority of the financing companies have in the industry. So this kind of helps them to be more of a customer friendly and a win-win proposition, which I feel that is something which is lacking in the solar financing industry, and Aerem fits right there to find having the right solution in the market.